Hello and welcome back to the EDC Squirrel. Got a new knife from Kizer. I actually did an unboxing earlier on this on my live stream, but I wanted to do a little bit more in-depth look at this one. This one is the Seagull. Now, we got this in a Vanguard box. You can see here, sharing, ooh, it's upside down. Sharing, innovation, respect, not necessarily in that order. And then here we got the knife. Underneath, we have where you can get the manual. You've got your typical Kizer microfiber cleaning cloth. And we also have a sticker. And like we always get from Kizer, which is always awesome, some extra parts. We'll put that box off to the side for now. And here we have the knife itself. Now, this one's a new one from Kizer called the Seagull. This one is in Rich Light scales or Blue Canyon. They do offer this in different types of scales. I believe they offer it in a black micarta as well as an aluminum, kind of reminiscent of the original Kershaw Bel Air, like a light beige color. This one, the blue micarta, the blue Rich Light, is $69.95 on their website. And same with the black micarta. The aluminum does run, I think, about $10 more. Now, this one comes with a 14C 28N steel blade, drop point. Looks kind of like a leaf almost. You got a thumb hole for deployment, a rear flipper for deployment, and a front flipper for deployment. Each method is very, very easy to do. And the action on this knife, super smooth, super quick, regardless of which method you choose to open it with. And I really like the rear flipper on this one. As you can see, the rear flipper, they've got an unusual shape. Usually, it kind of juts out like a little horn. In this case, they have it very similar to the front flipper, where they're both relatively flat along the lines of the knife, which makes this a very sleek looking knife in terms of the lines. You do have a pocket clip that is not reversible, a lanyard hole with a smallish backspacer, and I don't see any standoffs from the other side. It is a pretty deep carry pocket clip, you can see there, and with the blade closed, you can see that it's perfectly centered, which is something I love to see. Now, this is a nested liner lock, as you can see there. The cutout for that liner lock is nice and generous, so that way I don't have to dig my nail in there in order to actuate the liner and close the blade. It's really easy to close, and this is a very, very fidgety knife with all these methods to open. The front flip is so easy to use. The rear flipper, although it looks weird, same thing, really easy to use and really fast. The action on this is super smooth, something I've come to expect with all the Kizers that I've had in the past, and this is no exception. The blue Rich Light looks kind of like almost like a denim blue. Looks really cool. Nice and smooth, but not slick. It kind of reminds me of G10, really. Smooth, but grippy. It doesn't feel super slick. And the action with the lockup on this blade, when it locks up, is really loud. I don't know if it comes across on the microphone, but there's one other knife that's done this where it was the Ontario Rat Model 1, where the lockup click was so loud it actually made my ears ring. And this is the only other knife that's done that, where if you do it quick enough, it was loud enough to make my ear actually ring. And it's very easy to spider flick. Same with the thumb hole. It's not the biggest thumb hole in the world, but it's just really easily accessible, especially because of the cutout that you have there. This is one of those knives that I know I'll probably annoy the hell out of the girlfriend because it's so fidgety. And I could sit here and just do this all day. Now, you do have a finger choil here with some jimping, which provides a nice amount of grip. Also, you have some jimping back where the thumb would normally go. And interestingly enough, they have some jimping right towards the front of the blade. And that allows you to get really good control, do some really precise work by being able to give you a little bit more grip right at the front. And it's a really generous finger choil. I love how they have jimping there to provide more grip. But this is a hold I don't do very often with my pocket knives. Very few pocket knives that I have are comfortable to hold in this fashion. This is the most comfortable knife I think I've owned so far that allows me to hold it like this for real precise cutting and is really comfortable. And I don't worry at all about having my finger too close to the sharp edge of that blade. You do have a bit of a sharpening choil right there. And if we look closely at the blade, we got Kizer on one side, and then we have the Seagull and 14C28N on the other. Really nice and light. This is, let's take a look here. Let's zero this out, and this is coming up at 2.72 ounces. So make this easily disappear in a pocket along with that deep carry pocket clip. You probably won't even feel the weight of that in there. Again, very flicky, fidgety, fun knife. I'm really loving spider flicking this one. And again, I really like front flippers. I've just gotten really fond of them, especially with a lot of the Kizer, the Mini Militar, and the concept accipiters. I really like those. They're just fun to do. And I love, love, love how this rear flipper is formed. And it doesn't just jut out kind of like a tooth. And it works very, very well. With the blade out, take a look here. We can see that there's no movement on that blade, left or right, side to side, up or down. It's a very, very positive lockup. I've done a little bit of banging before on the back. Not something I normally would do, but haven't had it fold over or fail. Very positive lockup, very solid. Let's see how that blade is out of the box. I haven't done any cutting with this yet, any honing or sharpening, so let's take a look. Okay, I got some magazine paper here. Immediately bites into the paper. Very smooth feeling and sounds really good cutting through that paper. I don't feel or hear any real tearing. That one I actually hit the sharpening choil. Very smooth from pivot to tip there. They did a really good job of finishing that edge. Now, this is a hollow grind, so it's very thin, very slicey, a good amount of belly to this blade. And like I said, this, when you're holding it like this, being able to utilize it for draw cuts, very precise control. It's a really slicey blade. Nice and sharp right out of the box. That was actually pretty impressive. Let's go ahead and get rid of those. Now, other measurements on this knife, like I said before, or I actually may not have said before, overall length on this one is 7.09 inches. Blade length itself is 2.9 inches. And also, we've got a handle length of 4.14 inches. Now, I'm not too familiar with Richlight. This is the first knife I've ever owned with this type of scale, but I have to admit I'm pretty impressed. It's not all that different from G10, but I really like the Blue Canyon look. Again, kind of like a mixture of like a denim jean or a blue G10. I don't feel any flex in it whatsoever. We do have full steel liners in there, so we get nice rigid scales. Very strong feeling. Again, not a heavy knife, but really nice and comfortable to hold. I get a full gorilla grip on this one. And you've got, again, a bit of a finger twirl up here. The cutout here is nice and comfortable. And also you get a little bit of belly right there on the handle, which makes it just very ergonomic and comfortable to use. Now, I do feel the pocket clip a little bit at the back of my knuckle, but it doesn't feel irritating. Maybe if I was doing extended cutting, I could possibly see that as a hot spot. But as for right now, it doesn't feel very uncomfortable at all. No pinching, very smooth edges on this one. Very comfortable scales. I'm very impressed with this one. It's been a while since I've gotten a new Kizer knife. They have been coming out with some amazing knives recently that I had to really pick and choose. And I saw this one, saw the almost leaf-like blade on it and the various ways of deployment. And what really caught my eye was that rear flipper and how they had that set up. Because again, it's really sleek lines on this one. And that's why I decided to try this first out of all the new knives that they've been coming out with. They have been really busy over at Kizer, and I've been really impressed with everything that I've seen. I hope to be able to get my hands on some of the others, but those are going to have to wait, unfortunately, until I get some more funds. But again, super impressed with this one. $69.95 on their website. I do believe this is also available on Amazon. However, I don't see the Richlight version on Amazon. I do see, oh, they have one with a different blade. So they have a gray micarta, the 14C28N steel. They have the tan aluminum, the 14C28N, and they have an AEBL steel blade with black G10 handle. That one is going for like $1 less, whereas the gray micarta is going for $69.95 on Amazon, and the aluminum for $79.99. And that's pretty much in line with what you'll see at Kizer's website as well. I'll go ahead and drop an affiliate link down below if you want to check out the other variations on Amazon. But I'm really liking this one in the Richlight. The 14C28N steel is probably one of my favorite steels for budget-oriented blades. That and Nitro V tops for me. But I'm really impressed with this knife. Awesome new knife from Kizer. I can't see enough words with this one. It's been too long since I've gotten a new one. I'm really glad I was able to pick one of these up. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this one. If you've gotten this one already, or if you've been looking at getting one of these, either in the rich light or one of the other scales. Let me know what you think. I'd like to hear your thoughts. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for all of your support. And if you haven't yet, please drop a like. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe and the notification bell. That way you'll know as soon as I drop a new video. But thanks again, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.